Gonna work that
Go
handle.
ahead.
Maybe I'll
One
work
o'clock. Let's go.
work that handle a little bit too. Hey, we're up to 64. Okay, I got to get
One
everything
o'clock.
going. It's 1 o'clock. It is
It
one
is
o'clock.
one
It's time to
o'clock.
get so we can get going and get finished. Uh, hey, good afternoon. It is Teacher Web Page Phase 3, how to tune your web page. We're going to give you some ideas today, hopefully, to work for some ideas how to make it a little more personable, look a little better, work a little better, be a little more efficient, fewer clicks, things like that. And, if you have any questions, put them in the question box. We'll try to get to them. And if we don't, we certainly will get to them afterwards, okay? And with that, I'm Gene Clabago.
I'm Roger Carroll.
And we're going to get started. If I can close this thing off. Claude Bago. Okay. One of these days that thing's going to get it right, and I'm going to be very surprised. Okay. Hey, the first thing, before we begin, let's see if we can get going here. Where are we here? Okay. Is the idea we've seen on many websites that, to make it a little more personable, some people have been putting up pictures of themselves on that, on the front welcome page, for the kids. Hey, they're happy to see their teacher. Some people are putting up little welcome notes, miss you, things like that. And, so Raj, it got me thinking, and I apologize. 2 weeks ago when we started, Raj created a nice welcome page for me, but I have adjusted it. I decided that maybe I would just put my picture on the front of the website. So, Raj, do you want to give him the warning? Yeah, here we go. Okay.
Caveat emptor.
Yeah, here it is right here. Here's my web page. There it is. And I apologize for putting my picture up there. Anyhow.
That's copyright free, right?
No, that's Brad Pitt. I don't know who copyright free is. That's a whole different actor. Anyhow, to make, and again, my daughter's having, I knew that was going to happen. She said, she just, I think there was a finger involved in that one, but no, it wasn't. Anyhow, last week when we were talking, we spoke of forms, and we mentioned that one good thing that we might want to do is put a place for parents to be able to respond a little more quickly. Emails are good, but we were just talking about how fast emails can get filled up and the problems with it. So we talked about putting a form here, and as if you took last week, you remember that we created a form, and we'll be talking a lot about forms today again. And it was just a really nice, easy form. You click, the parent can put name. That one was just an extra one. Your email address and a question. Nice. All right. Well, the other morning about 3:30 when I woke up, I was thinking about this, and I thought that's really great, but we really don't have anything on here for the kids. What if the kids want to ask a question? They don't understand one of your assignments. What if they just want to say hello to you? Okay. How can we set up something very easily? Give them a page that they can respond to. And over on the left, you'll see I have a thing that called student questions and responses. And you'll see if you want to read this here, students, you have something to ask me or tell me, click here. And basically, what I did, I put a little, that's copyright free, Raj, a little page up. I created a page. I put a content app here with just a few of the directions. You have a question, or is there something you'd like to tell me? Fill in the form below and hit submit, and it'll be on its way to me. I wrote it for probably the lower grades, and of course, you can write it to fit your students. I'll respond down the page for you and the whole class to see. Okay, because here was our problem. Kids can send in questions, but how do we respond to them? Obviously, they don't have school emails, and I'm not sure the parents want to get involved with their emails, especially in the lower grades probably don't have emails yet. But we needed a way for everybody to get a response. So all I did was I thought, oh well, this might be a good place to just put all of the responses. So I embedded a little form here where the student could easily put first name, not last name. We've talked about that. And then I asked them to put the date. And it's a calendar thing that Roger's going to talk about in a minute or so, but it's really easy. It says click on the answer block for a calendar, and you'll see. It works out real nicely. And then what is your question or comment? Student enters that. And then down below, after I get them, I can use a variety of cut and paste and responses. Hello, Joey, blah, blah, blah. Here's the, how do you do this? And it would be a page that you can connect a little bit more with the students. And we thought that, kind of thought that that might be a good step. Another thing, this is just a little, I guess, fancy thing. You have many people are putting their pictures there. How about a little greeting? Maybe they'd like to hear, it sounds silly, they'd like to hear your voice, hear how you're doing, hear what you're doing. Well, you can create a little greeting, and I have this here, and I'll show you how I did it in a second. Click here for a greeting. This will open up. You can't hear that, of course, but that is a greeting. And what I did was, I have to minimize that for a second. I went and used a tool that's already on your Windows 10. It's called the Voice Recorder. That's what it looks like. And if you're saying, where is the Voice Recorder? We can find it for you very quickly. Go over here, and you'll see they're in alphabetical order. And what I do is I click on one of the letters, and then it'll give you the whole thing, and I can just click on the V because that's what I want. There's the Voice Recorder here. I just dragged it out and put it in to my toolbar so I could have it for today. But you can get it very easily. Voice Recorder works very easily, and guess what it does? It records your voice. Okay, now I've already created one, and so I have it here, and it saves them, and I'll show you where in a minute. But it is incredibly easy to use as a recording device, and you can create little voice files that you can then upload to your website. Just click on it here. Okay, now that is an old one that I had. Okay, if I want to do a new one, I'm going to click here, and now I'm creating a new one. Okay, and when I'm done, I can just push this. That's the pause. And when I'm done, I push the stop, and notice there it is up here. I've created a recording. It's as easy as that. Click that to start it. This one is the playback here. If you want to hear how it sounds, you could just click on this. It'll play back the recording that I just made. If you want a new one, push this. No problem. Now, two things about this. Number one, might want to give it a name so you know what it is, because if you make a few of these things and they're all just named recording 1, recording 2, recording 3, it gets to be a little bit silly. Okay, so I'm just going to call it message, and I'll just rename it. Okay, and now I've saved it. Where have I saved it is the next question, because you need to find it when we do an upload. If you right click on it again, down at the bottom it says open file location. I'm not sure, but I think it's probably about the same on all the computers, but you want to click and find it where it is on yours. Mine, it's in my documents and in a folder called sound recordings, and here they are right there. Okay, all right. Okay, so what I did was, let me get back to my page now. I went in here and let me get here. I think that's, no, it's not the one. Oh, there it is. Well, I guess I'm going to have to go to edit. Excuse me 1 second, please. In here, all I did is I put a content app in, as most of you have done there. And I just wrote this click for a greeting from me. I highlighted it. I went to insert a file. And then I went up and found that audio file, clicked on that, put it in, and it worked beautifully. So you can add a little greeting from you to the students, okay? So that's kind of what what we're talking about there. Now, okay, the next thing that I'd like to show you is down here. This is a thing called video instructions. Have you ever, now maybe in that page of the student questions, student sends in, how do you do this? And you say, oh my goodness, I wish I were here so I could explain it to you. Sometimes it's better to show somebody than to put it into words. And whether it's instructions for how to open Clever or Symbaloo, go to someplace, or do something in one of the programs that they had, or just maybe how to go to someplace on the internet, things like that. I have here, just to show you, this is a little file on how to insert a document app. Okay, and I'll just show you what it is, and then I'll show you how I did it. There it is, and you won't be able to hear the words that's coming through my earphones, but it's running. Down below you can see that it's a film, a video. Okay, well anyhow, making those little, what should I call them, instructional videos or whatever videos, is very easy. And you're going to use, strangely enough, a program called PowerPoint. And it's very easy to do. Oh, you know what? I should have, well, I think I can do it. Here's what you do to do a video recording. You will go up here, notice across the ribbon, click on recording, and different things over here. The one you want is screen recording. Now, you are going to be able to record your screen. Somebody's going to ask, hey, can I turn on my camera and do a video of me? And we've not been able to figure that out yet. There are programs that will do it, or you could even make a little video, somebody holding your phone or your pad or something, and then get it up to get it onto your computer and up. But right now, this will only do screen recordings. So we'll do a screen recording. Now, if this happens, that's perfectly okay, because the first thing that it wants you to do is select the area, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is do this. Yeah, I'll do this. You're going to see my control panel. I'll do the whole screen. Okay. Now, after I've done that, I can go here and open my page and hit edit. Okay. What I want to do is to show you how to, say, something silly, put an embed app on your page. Very simple. So to make a recording, once I put out the area, then I've started, so I see what I need on the screen. All I need to do is hit record. It gives you a countdown. Okay, to put an app on your page is very simple, and we're going to talk about a document app today. And all you need to do is walk on down over here to find the app. There's a document app. Drag it over, drop it in above or below, wherever you want. I'm going to put it below, and we have a document viewer app here. To open it or to use it, you just click on the document app on the pencil, and it works very much like uploading a file. So you would just go in and select the file from your computer, and don't forget to save it, and then you've created a file that you can actually view on your web page in the document viewer. All right, that is the pause. If you want to continue, then you could continue by hitting the record, but when you're done, you just hit the stop. Your PowerPoint will open, and let me get rid of the design ideas. I don't need design ideas right now. You will see your video right here. It doesn't look like a video, but if you look down below, there's the video thing. And if you click it, you'll see you can't hear the voice, but I can hear myself talking to me. That's just my control panel. And it shows you a great one. Now the problem is, hey, how do I get this from the PowerPoint onto my web page? And that's easily done as well. All you need to do is go here, right click on the video itself. And if you go down a ways, about 2/3 of the way, there's a command that says Save Media As. Okay, you click on that, and you'll see that you can decide where you want to put it, and then you can give it a name, and it becomes an MP4 file, which is a good file. It's a very usable file. It's used in most devices. What did I call that? Okay, there's the document viewer, and then I just hit this. That's all there is to it. I have created an online video now, and I have saved it. If I wanted to now put it into my web page, I could go up here. I haven't, it's an app here. Somebody's going to ask me, can you embed them? Not right after you make them and they're on your computer. There is no embedding code on them. To do that, you would have to send them up to YouTube, have them in captioned and closed captioned, and then you get an embed code. That's for another day. But you can link them, okay? Just click on Document Viewer. I always highlight that, and I want to insert a file, and I want to upload a file. I'm going to browse. It's on here. I think it'll be under here somewhere. Document Viewer MP4. There it is. That's what it looks like, so I'll open it. I'll continue. Now, if you do these will take a little bit of time, okay? But it will work. Now, the reason it's taking time is because that file is pretty big. It's a pretty big file. So, boom, text to view, document viewer, insert file, save. Now, if I go back to my web page, as the ever famous refresh, I have the document. What did that get down there? Oh, I was working. That's from the document viewer down below. We can just forget that for right now because it was thinking that I had put a document in. Click on this, and I'm watching the video that I made just a few moments ago. Nice and easy. And again, that's a great way of personalizing your page, putting some things on there. You might even, if you wanted to, you could read a story, put your face up there and read a story to the kids. Things like that. Do things like that that make it a little bit more personal. Okay. Are there any questions with that, Raj? I know that I went through that very quickly, but just want to remind you that later on this afternoon, if everything goes well, I'm going to take this video and we'll put it up on the Teacher Resource Center webpage. We'll send you an email about it, and you can go back there and watch it. And of course, you can send us questions as well. And we were just talking about
we do have a question, and
well,
we will address it. No, it's a great question. How many minutes long can a screen recording be?
That's a question. I will look that up. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look that up while.
But we don't want to test the limits.
Yeah.
Keep in mind your audience.
Yeah, that's true too.
It shouldn't be any longer than it needs to be.
But I always like to know those things, and I'm sure that person does too. But you're
it
right
also
there
takes
about
a while
that.
to upload, and also keep in mind what devices the student.
I am not sure.
Open it on.
I'm not sure now, and I remember back when, probably in the 1700s. There was a limit to the size of the file you could upload, and I'm not sure if there is now. There probably.
Yes, it's a matter of capacity.
Yeah.
Computers have more memory. Computers have more speed, better processors.
Mm-hmm.
Yet there is a finite limit.
Yeah, and I mean we have more size and everything, but yeah, and like Raj says, which is a very good idea, we do want to Connect.
Diane, Diane's here. Hey, Diane, good afternoon. There's a 2 megabyte limit per video.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
That's not real big, but that should accomplish what we're looking for minimally here. We want to say a quick hello or something.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
that's
those are,
uploading it. Linking it
yeah.
out is a different matter. If you link it out to or embed a YouTube video, that's not sitting on the site here. That's going out there and getting it.
That's
it's
right.
Actually uploading the file, so it's sitting there.
Sure.
And that's the difference.
But again, those are some ways, using forms, using the voice recorder, using the on-screen video maker, that we have within Windows and PowerPoint, that you can make some files and things that you can connect with the students a little better. Now we're going to change a little bit. Raj is going to do some things and show you how you can, how shall we make it? Make your pages more efficient, look a little better, things like that.
Fine tune them. Let's go fine tune some pages. Give me the screen here and I'll fine tune my page.
I am process of doing that. There we
got it.
There you go. Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. Ask those questions behind the scenes. I've been responding to quite a few. And one I think is a terrific example of what we're going to talk about right now. We're going to try to spruce up your web page. We're bothered by, at least I am, a lot of white space. There's a lot of, come on, let's make it a little more compact. So there's a couple ways to do that. One is a terrific app called the Accordion app. And we're going to take a look at what the effect is. And I have another great example of this. This is just by way of demonstration. On my page, I go to this week's journal assignments. So I'll scroll down a little bit. Okay, and let me pull this up. Very simple, very clean, not a lot of information going on here. These are categories, okay? Actually, they call them records in the app lingo. So I have every day this week just simply listed here on my page. But look, if I click expand all, and that's built into this app, look what happens. Every one of those records expands with the detail within each record. So I go from this, look at all, easy to find, it's sitting right there, okay? And you can use this for a number of purposes. Very quickly, I'm going to take you to another teacher's webpage. He's at Niagara Falls High School, and he took the webinar this morning, and he rolled up his sleeves and went right to work. He's a second language teacher at Niagara Falls High School. You might know Tom. He gave me permission to do this. Okay. He is a world language teacher. So he teaches every language in the world. Here is his homepage. Okay. And here is his use of the Accordion app. He went through next week, and he's got some more. Where was it, Tom? There was another, for the weekly assignments here. Look, all of these. And they can be expanded. So it's a real nice space saver. It cleans up your page very nicely. Okay, I'm going to go back. I don't know if I can go back to mine real quick here. Keep going. There I am. Okay, let's look at my page. Again, this is streamlined for demonstration purposes. All right, so let's take a look at how this app works. It's called the Accordion app. So I'm going to sign in. I've got a nice little streamlined way to do that. There's my edit page. All right. So here are the journal assignments. Notice when you go into edit mode, okay, the apps are on the left that you've used, and the apps are on the right. This is like the store. This is the app mall. All right. The first one listed is called the Accordion app. Can't figure out what the logo is about, but that's the accordion app. At least it helps me by saying it and I hover on it, okay? Content accordion. So it expands. That's the metaphor, of course. So here we are. Here's a content app for the first part of my page. I used an announcement app because I wanted to see what that looked like on the page, and that's that little bit of information on my home page. And here is the content accordion. And I used, and we're going to get to these a little later. So in the content accordion, so you drag it over, and then as you are used to now seeing, I want to add another one, another record in here, or I just go into the edit, the little pencil. Here are the records. That's what they call each one of these items. And you create them one at a time. And when you create the first one, let's look at yesterday's. Here is yesterday's information for Monday's journal. And this is all about journal writing. I did a lot of that when I was in the classroom teaching English language arts, English at the time. I don't know when it became language arts, but it wasn't when I was there. We did a lot of journal writing. Okay, sometimes it was daily throughout a week or a weekly journal, but here is a way to handle that. This looks familiar to you, doesn't it? This is the same toolbar that appears in the content app. You have all the exact same options. Okay, so Monday's journal, you can change the size of the font, do all of that stuff. Here is a link. This is a link to a website that is just what it's pretty much being described there. This day in history. Yesterday, the link would take you to this day in history, April 20th, and you can go back in history. And then I wanted the students, say, to look through the events, maybe look who are the key players in that day in history, how many ever years ago they decided to search. I would have thrown out in discussion. Maybe look at this day in history on the day you were born. Go back and see what was going on, or maybe the day one of your parents was born, and so on. Anything that gets them thinking about something to put on the page. And after they do that, they click on another link. This is to a Microsoft form, okay, in which it would be a step through for them to put a response in for this day in history, okay? When done, click submit, as we now know we do when we use Microsoft Forms. Okay, so these are records. As you add a new record, you can sort them, kind of like we do if we create a new page. You have to sort them, all right? It allows you to put them in any order you like. Okay, as I was creating them, they weren't appearing in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I forget how I started it, but anyway, I had to rearrange them, and that's just an easy drag and drop. Okay, so now we've got the accordion app, and we've got how to create them. Let's look at a new record. I'm not going to go completely through this, but you'll see, because this will be blank when you start. You have to fill this up in here. So I'm going to say let's add a new record. What is the title of it? I'm just going to call it new record, because I'm going to get rid of it when we're done. New record 1, 2, 3. That's new record 1. There's new record. That's the title of it. It's going to appear in that list of records. And here is just the, what it's all about. So I'm going to save it. It appeared at the top. That may be fine. Notice sometimes when we create a new page in Blackboard, it appears at the bottom of the list of all your pages, and you have to reposition it where you want. If it's a home page, all the way up to the top and so on. But here is the new record, and I can sort them in any order I want for how they're going to appear on my web page. I'm going to get rid of that record right now, but that's basically, you're working with all the familiar tools, okay? Let's go back into the web page. I'm going to refresh it just in case it needed refreshing. But you can appreciate what it does, how it condenses the page. It makes things easy to find. Our goal is fewer clicks, less scrolling. Okay, you don't want people having to scroll page after page after page to find something. Let's make it easy to find. Your audience is your students' parents, helping them find whatever the current assignment or task might be on your web page. Let's help them out. We need a logical order for our sub pages. Some people are getting by with just a couple of sub pages. Some people have many sub pages. They're putting everything out there. Well, that needs a logical organization as well. And you do that when you organize your pages. That can be changed anytime. Okay, well, let's take a look at today's journal assignment. Okay, Tuesday's journal topic. So we'll click, this is now a link. All right, click, I point to the link, click here. It's going to open the journal topic. This is a link to a form. That form opened up, took over my page, opened up as a new tab in the browser. And this form is similar to the forms that I'm using in the rest of the journal topics. It asks for the students to put their name in. Okay, here is a new item we're going to look at in forms. Click today's date in the calendar below. Well, you come down here and you click, it's going to open up a calendar. Well, this might be very useful for a week's worth of assignments or a single form that's going to change by the day of the week. So we want to know, okay, when did you do this activity? And they just simply point to the date on the calendar. It defaults to the current day's date, of course. So that's just a drop-down click. They're not going to be putting anything in this kind of format. They're not typing in, 4/21/2020. No need to do that. In fact, it won't allow them to do that. Then the second option is to, after you have watched the Nearpod video below, please think about everything you watched about it. Directions for filling in the journal response. This is an extended response area, extended text response area in the form when we create it. And then when they're all done, they're reminded again here to submit the form. Okay, let's go back. This is for each day of the week. Okay, I did one for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and they all have a link in the form. And we use the same tools. Let's go into, let me see if I can get in here. Yes, let's go into the accordion. Let's edit it. Ooh, I don't know. What would you like to continue? No. Oh, down here. This is a little different. From time to time, because of the different apps you're working on, it's not just enough to say save. You have to confirm that. No, I'm done. Forget it. I'm done. Okay, so I'm going to edit this. I'm going to go into, let's go and take a look at tomorrow. Okay. Click here. This is the link. I remind you again, we're using the same tools. We would use the link insert link button for this. And this link is to a form that we created. Copy the link when we share it and bring it in to our web page here. Again, no new buttons here. The only one I tried out a little different was a special character button to put in this little arrow, make it easier to understand. I think I want, seeing it. Where do I click? Well, sometimes these don't show up, very strongly on the web page. Well, click, and here's the link here. All right, and reminder there. Let's cancel that. Okay, now let's go out to Microsoft Forms. That's the form on my web page. Let's go into Office 365, where we were the other day when we were creating our forms. I want to show you how to do that. Later on, I'm going to show you how to embed a form, but now it's just how to create the form and put it in one of those accordion links that you're using, or anywhere on your web page, but we're talking about making it into the accordion app. Okay, let's take a look at, here's the extended response journal for Tuesday. I have extended response journal for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They're all over the place because every time I open it up and close it, it changes the order. The most recent form, whatever form if I clicked on the playground form and made some kind of minor edit to it, close it, it's going to appear here. Most recent is always first next to the new form, new quiz option. Okay, so let's take a look at today. And let's take a look at, now I'm in the edit mode. Okay, I can now change this form. I can add to it, I can take things, I can modify, maybe clean up a typo or something of that nature. But let's go back. I started this all with a journal entry for Monday. I'm messing around with this yesterday, but I didn't want to create a new form each day of the week. On any one of your forms, notice settings, more action items. Okay, every one of these action items gives me, I can copy it. That means make a duplicate of it. I can delete the form, or I can move it to another area. Okay, that other area is kind of like a behind the scenes thing. It's like making something inactive on your web page. But if I say copy it, okay, extended response for journal for Friday, I'm going to copy it. Watch what happens. Now I have two. The difference being, this is the copy. This is the original. How do I know it's a copy? Because it's got a little parenthetical notation here saying this is the second version of this. If I copied this again, extended response journal Friday, April 24th, this number would be 3, and so on. That's what I did for each of the 5 days of the week. Then I changed the title of it. So I started on, say, Monday or Friday. I just simply changed the title and I have a new form. And then I can clean up and edit any of the changes within that form. But they're all asking for, number one, the student's name, first name, last initial, and the date. And then I changed the particulars for that day's journal assignment, what I want them to do. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to say delete it. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. Notice? Okay. So now, next is, here is where we've been getting some questions from some people. Why is not getting what I want? How come a parent or the student's being asked to sign in? Well, when we go up to the additional form settings, more form settings, click it here. We have to make sure we've got everything set up for what we want it to do. Okay? If it's a quiz, we want students, as soon as they click submit, they'll know how they did on it. Okay? I like that option, so I stay with that one. Here is where some people have had some difficulty. It's not that they clicked the wrong one, it probably defaulted to one of these other options. With this option here, anyone with this link can respond to this form. So when I copy that link, I could send that link to a family member, I could send it to a friend, I could send it anywhere. That in an email, they click on that link in the email, they could do this form. So anyone with the link. We're doing that right now because students in the elementary level are not into Office 365. Because if I take this next option, only people in my organization can respond. If I click that, that means they have to sign in. and they're not all equipped to do that or familiar with it. They probably haven't worked in Office 365 up to this point of the year, or the point of the year when schools closed. So those that have can use that option, and it will automatically record their real name, not first name, last initial, but in the safety and the confines of Office 365. Okay. No, I'm going to leave that for anyone with the link can respond. Choose options for responses. Well, yeah, I want to accept responses. You can, if you like, nice little feature here, especially if there are some dated assignments and things, you can set a start and an end date for when the form is available and then when it is closed off. Prior to that, no responses. After that, no responses. Okay? We talked about this the other day, shuffle the questions. I do not want to shuffle the questions in this particular form that I'm working on, because if I shuffle the questions, the name might appear as question number 3, etc. I know I always want that as the first option, so I'm not going to shuffle those questions and so on. Again, we talked about the notifications, and with all the email troubles lately, we do not want to get an email notification every time a response is submitted. That would blow up your inbox even more than whatever is going on right now. Okay, so you don't want these. In another context, the student could get a receipt for their form. If it is an actual test or an assessment, this is proof they got it. For if they're going to take it back to Walmart, here's my receipt. All right. Right now, we're not doing that, just for ease of administration and working with this stuff. Let's come back to share. This is under the form settings. Under share, I have a couple options, and we've talked about those. The most common one for working on a web page is the link. Okay. We also have a QR code, and we can embed them. We're going to look at that a little later. Had a teacher this morning had a problem that she was taking one of these options here, and the link would open, the form would open up on their web page so they could get a duplicate and work on the form. No, don't click either of these at this point. Down the road, when you're collaborating with colleagues and so on, maybe a grade level form, that kind of thing, yes, we could take a look at those. But for our purposes just now, we were copying that link. Okay, so let's just go back out to the web page. Gene, I think that covers my little piece.
Well, we
here.
got some questions here, Raj, that are very good.
Okay, but I think I've covered everything I want to say right now about that. All I have to say about that, according to
a couple of questions. Basically, people are asking, can you take copy paste what you've already created, say in assignments, and then put it in the accordion? And basically
in the assignments app.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you would have to copy.
I don't know.
Yeah, you'd probably have to. If you could probably copy the text.
You can copy and paste some information.
Yeah. Yeah.
If there's links and things, I haven't tried it, so I can't say for sure.
Yeah.
I suspect it's possible, but try it.
Yeah. Now there's another one here. Yeah. Okay. In this, I'm not sure the first sentence, but this is a good question. I'm trying to get all of the assignments to go to the same place. Can I add a Nearpod video to Microsoft Form? Or a Microsoft Form to a Nearpod assignment? We're going to have to check that one out.
Good question. I suspect you can do the first one because what I did was when we come back to look at the Embed app, I took a Nearpod and put a YouTube video in it, and I embedded that on my web page. Okay. That's what's going on right here. This video is from a Nearpod.
Okay.
So great questions. My gosh, people are really expanding.
Those are
outside the box.
This is
thinking outside the form.
Yeah, getting a little deeper than a couple of weeks ago, isn't it?
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hey, speaking.
Okay. You're going to
Okay.
take it back and show us some clip art options.
Yeah, we're going to talk just a little bit about clip art. Because we have you given me the screen?
I am
Oh,
right now.
okay. Okay. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, we have kind of not threatened, warned, whatever, cautioned. Oh, that's the word. Cautioned you many times that when you do put uh, images on there, uh, videos, whatever, that you follow very strict copyright regulations and do not put anything up there that might be a conflict with them. And we talked especially, that gets into clip art, because a lot of people like to go into Google, do a search, go into images and grab stuff. And it's really great. But you'll see that on Google, when you do that, it will say some of these may be copyright protected. They really don't do that unless you go into the advanced portion of Google. So I'd like to show you a kind of two sites that you can use. This one, if you read over here, it's a collection. Their collection is free, no registration is required, and it's public domain clip art. And that's very good, and there's some very good clip art here. Just want to show you that if you go here, you have to be just a little bit careful, not of the clip art, but of the ads. Anytime you see one of these little things right here, I don't know if you can see that little teal green thing with an X, that is an ad. And sometimes those ads will say download on them. And that's not to download the clip art or whatever. Okay. All right. Let me just show you the best way, I think, for this site. If you go, it's PD, public domain, clipart.org. If you go here, all right, in this case, you're going to see lots of clip art. Okay, notice up on top, start skipping ads. No, you don't want ad remover, but we'll pick one of these. Pick this one, and you'll see download. Oh, download. No, it doesn't mean download that picture. It's talking about something they're advertising there. Okay, and you'll also often see these down below. Skip the ads. Oh, I want to skip the ad. That's not going to do it. They're sending you to an app or something they want to sell you. The easiest way to do it is when you get to, on this page, when you get to it, is just right click, save image as we've been doing, as you do a lot. That's the simplest way for this particular one. It's a really good site. Take a look at it. I realize we're running a little short of time and we have one really important thing we want to go through, so I'm going to hurry just a little. Another app that I kind of like pretty much is called Pixabay. Okay. However, I do want to explain one little thing. Notice it says stunning free images, good. Royalty-free stock. What does that mean? Royalty-free stock often means that a picture needs to be purchased first. In other words, you have to buy the picture, but you do not have to pay royalties each time you use it. Like like on TV shows, every time they show a certain show, they have to pay so much for it. So royalty free doesn't mean that the picture or the image is free. But this place does have a lot of pictures and a way of telling. Okay. Up on top, just for the heck, I'm going to go to illustrations rather than photos. And on here, just to show you a little bit and how it works, here are some. I just went into education. There's some good things here. That's kind of a nice looking one. I'll click on it. Notice over to the right, it says free download, free for commercial use even, and no attribution. Attribution means you have to tell where you got it from, is required. So that's a really good little thing that they do there. And if you ran into one that costs, it would let you know. Okay? Pixabay, and I know we're running short, so I'm going to let you maybe go in there and look around. There are a lot of good pictures in here. I have not found clip art so much in here, but there's some really good things that you might want to add. nicely. And again, we don't want to fill up our pages with pictures, but every now and then, a little bit of color makes it a little nicer to look at. Lastly, there's somebody I think we're all familiar with. Oh, let's get his eyes open. Okay, there he is. Okay, there's another little tool in Windows that when you're here and you decide that you need an image. Say we needed an image of Mr. Lurie's face here, but we don't want all the surrounding things. We don't want a picture of the whole screen. We just want a picture. There is a tool called Snip and Sketch. And again, Snip and Sketch, let me close it off for a second. If you go into your, I have it on my toolbar, but go in here. I always, excuse me, click on the A. I think it's under S for Snip and Sketch. And there it is right there. You'll find it in there. It's built right into Windows. And it's a very useful little tool. Oops, I started the video again. Okay. Okay, there he is. He looks very, very erudite there. And he is doing a great job, by the way. Snip and Sketch works this way. Click on it, and it says, okay, plus one. I like that, but I just hit New up here. The screen turns a little bit dark. You can pick the type of picture that you want, okay, up here. But for right now, just quickly, I'm taking the square one, or rectangular, or however. And I'm just going to do that. And there we have just that picture that we can go up here. We can zoom in on it. There's a save. I don't know why they don't get rid of those discs. I don't know if anybody knows what they are anymore. We can copy it for copy paste. Or we can even share it. If I wanted to share that with with Roger, I could do that. You can use these tools up here to write on them and do other things. Here's a crop. If you need to crop it down a little bit, you got a little too much. But you can do an awful lot with that as well. It's called Snip and Sketch. And I'm just going to close this off right now because we are running a little short of time. And we do want to get to an app that many people have had questions about. But again, the idea here is when you're at your web page, please make sure that the materials that you put on there are copyright free or accepted. You're allowed to be using them, basically. Okay. And with that, Raj, are we ready for our last item here, and a very important one?
Yes. The only thing, Gene, I think the one other thing, and
I forgot again.
I'll do it.
Okay, thank you. I'm so sorry.
There's another built-in resource for clip art, and it's built into Blackboard. And I'll show you that briefly when we get to the insert part. Okay, we're back now. Up here, we showed you how to work with the accordion app. Here is another journal, an extended journal response, but this is pretty heavy duty, maybe for some senior high school students and so on. I embedded a video that talked for several webinars with the superintendent. Question keeps getting asked about, can we link out to a YouTube video? How can we embed a YouTube video and so on? Technically, mechanically, yes, you can, but there's a strong caution on what the content of those videos are. It's not the one you select. It's no doubt targeted perfectly for the concept or whatever it is you're teaching. The problem is what comes after that video. If it goes to the YouTube page, you're familiar with it, there's all kinds of stuff going on. What's next in the playlist, and the whole question of what may or may not be appropriate for young eyes to see. If we're within Office 365, you don't have a problem with that, okay? As Ed Maynard has been showing us in Nearpod, they have videos and the option to build in there. Again, yes, you can, the tools allow for it, but the caution is there. So I took that a little step further, and I used, here is an extended journal response. Again, it's for older students who might be reading the book Night and so on, and studying the Holocaust and some of those things in social studies history class. Okay, but to help students with that study, I wanted them to see a video, and there's a series of them, but a very powerful video called the Auschwitz album. And I don't know if I spelled that right or not. That looks, I think it's
Close.
but so this is the video here. If you click here, it's going to open on the web page, and it's going to play the video. Okay, so I'm going to click here. It opens up here. This is, again, what happens when you use Nearpod for this. So I can maximize the page, and here is the video, and here is some attendant resources. Now, this actual resource was built for study for people who want. This is just incredibly powerful, and the video would play. Okay, you're not going to hear it. Okay. So it plays here. So here's the video and other information as well. It goes to the goes into some of the history and a whole bunch of scenes, interviews with survivors, and just incredibly remarkable resource. Okay, visually. I want my students to watch this, and then I want them to do an extended response in their journal on their viewing of the video. So I used the Embed app to get the video in. I created and put the resource together in Nearpod, and then I took the embed code there and used it here so it would show up on my web page. I used the embed code option for sharing in forms and put the form here for this journal assignment. Okay, so put your name, the date, we've shown that. Then after you have watched the video, here's an option for, it's a text-based response. It is a extended text. Students could write several thousand characters, and our students aren't overly verbose anyway when it comes to writing, but this would be plenty of room for them to include a response. The key thing is the student's going to include some identification information, their first name and their last initial, and the date of this. If you're in a secondary school, high school or prep school, maybe question number 3 or question number 2 could be what period of the day they have you in class for a class. That could be a drop down, and you could format that. Okay, so let's jump behind the scenes here and see what this looks like in the Blackboard app. Okay, here are the journal instructions. I better say, I don't want to do that. I'm going to say I'm done over here. That was from our working on the accordion app. Okay, here are the instructions. Okay, that's just the basic content app. And then down here is the embed app. Okay, that's one of our little beauties over here. You drag it over into the work area, and then you edit it. The embed code app is very straightforward. Okay, I click on edit. This is the one for the video. This is what an embed code looks like. When I was in Nearpod, I created the video, I found the slide, I put it together, I saved it, and then there's the share option. One of the sharing options was to embed it. You could link to it, but I wanted to work with the embed app, so I copied the embed code. If you studied it long enough, you'd figure it out, what's going on here. Okay, here's an address, all this stuff. Talks about the size of the frame and stuff, but you don't need any of that. You just copy the whole thing and you paste the whole thing, okay, into the embed code. In the follow-up, and this is the embed code down here that I use for the extended journal response, okay. Here, this is the embed code that I copied out of my forms. We're going to take a look at that, okay, but I copy and paste. That's it. That's the embed code. And it presents itself. I think teachers like, and again, our audience, clicking on a link takes another step to get to the form. If the form is embedded, and there are reasons not to and reasons that you may want to, it's already there, fully present on your web page for them to start completing. Okay, so it's right there. There's no guesswork. Keep in mind your audience. How much, in quotes here, hand holding do you need to get students to do what is intended by a given assignment? Okay, let's go into Microsoft Forms. Oh, you know, I want to show you one more thing. Let's go into the Content app here. Here's our toolbar, and just that last little piece of clip art. This is going to take about 10 seconds. Insert an image. That image could be, again, uploaded from your computer. Once you upload it, it becomes an existing image. We used the shared images the other day when we first built web pages for our school pictures, or it could be in the clip art library. There is a built-in clip art library in Blackboard. So I click here, and now I can search all images. I can search an academic image. I take out the search term. I search blank. These are all the academic images. You don't have to worry about copyright. You don't have to worry about royalties. You don't have to worry about anything with any of these built-in images. You may find plenty here that will suit your purpose. If you look around some various web pages or different teachers around the district, they have found this clip art library and are using it. Okay, terrific. Let's go out to Microsoft Forms now. Here, the extended response journal. Okay, this was one that we were using for viewing the video. Okay, I spelled it right here, Gene. They have,
all right.
I'm totally inconsistent.
1 out of
this
10
is the extended
good.
response journal. Okay, again, so identification, the date, and so on. But under the share option, most common is copy the link. If I choose the link, I press copy. It says link is ready for you to paste. I don't have to right click and all that stuff. This little routine here takes care of that. But what I want is, this one is for the QR code. Then you have to download that. We've taken a look at that. That's nice. It works. The embed code. I want to copy the embed code. So I click the embed code option, copy. It's out. Now it's on my clipboard. Okay. And so I go into my Blackboard. Okay. Let's get out of here. Where did I go here? I think I wanted, nope, that was right. Okay, I'm in my Blackboard app, okay, the Content app, there we are. I go down to my embed code. Let's just put a new one in just so you can see what it looks like when it's blank, okay. We're going to embed, it's this little symbolic representation of the embed code. I drag it over, find the green spot where I want to place it. We're going to get rid of it anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it. Click the edit pencil, and you know what? I click the
There's the divider there, yeah.
Yeah, where is my embed? There it is. Yes, I do want to continue. Here is the embed code work area over here. I just simply paste the embed code that I copied in Forms. Brought it over here, and then I save it, and that will open up that full form, full Monty form on my web page. I don't have to open it as a link, open up in the browser or anything. It's sitting there the whole time. Okay, let's get rid of this. Okay, I think that covers the embed code. We used Nearpod. I'm not going to show you how to do that in Nearpod. That's Ed Maynard's job, but it can be done. All right. Yeah. You go in there. You all have accounts to Nearpod now. If you attended his webinar, you know that. But I would defer to him and his guidance on how to do that.
Mhm.
But yes, it can be done, and you can embed. I think the big call is to embed the forms, so our users don't have to go hunting for it. Okay. And any questions, Jane?
Well, Diane has mentioned that the embed code can go into the content app with, if you put go into the source code, and maybe that would be a good thing for another
I
day.
think that's level 4. Yes. Yeah. When you
Yeah,
open up that source code, you got to know what you're looking at.
yeah, yeah,
And we've done that.
yeah,
It's just, yeah, you got to get comfortable with the embed
yeah.
code and
Yeah,
where you want
that
to put
is,
it.
but that for some people that would be really good. And that, the thing
Yes.
is, this is kind of for Diane. In the accordion app, when that opens up on the right, it looks like a content app. And we tried copying the embed code and putting it into the source code of that, and it didn't work. Okay.
This is the source code in a content app
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
this information. This
That
is what
is.
it
Yeah.
looks like. That's HTML.
Yeah.
But yes, you can copy and paste stuff in there,
Yeah. And
but not for the faint of heart.
is it an option to embed in content? Well, I think that's, yeah, if you know how to get in and use the source code. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I would do that in a practice web page.
Yeah, good idea.
I have a number of web pages
Yeah.
that are inactive that I like to go in and try things with.
Yeah, and thank you.
That's
a good point.
and mess with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I recommend that. That's a nice little playground area.
And thank you, again, Diane. Hey, by the way, Diane is for everybody who's joining us. Diane Spicone is with us, and she's been the one who has gotten all of us online. So we want to thank her again very, very much for all the work she did to help everybody get online. And now that we're starting to see all these great websites. Is there anything else, Roger? Or should we say good afternoon?
Yes, there was one last question hanging. I don't know if it relates to anything.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Here.
Oh, yeah. And again.
Yeah, okay. I saw that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we just want to remind you that probably, what is it now? 2 o'clock, maybe by 4:30 or so. I will, well, no, it's going to be a little bit longer because I got to send it up to YouTube. I will get the video from this afternoon's webinar, and what we're going to do is we'll post it on the teacher resource page. That way, in case you want to review or you have a question or whatever, and you can work along with the video, as you work on your pages. If you do have any other questions or concerns, and these questions are starting to get more and more difficult, and Roger and I are starting to have to.
Yeah,
we're learning a great deal.
Great questions, and more than happy to help.
Yeah. Yeah. When I tried to embed a form, it came up as a Microsoft form. Yeah. Mary, email us and we'll work on that. Okay. Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
When you do email us, people, please tell us what school you're in.
Yes, it saves us a lot of time.
Searching around the hundreds of
directories
and web pages and stuff.
Yeah, no, we've learned to go to the directories. Yeah, but that does help us an awful lot too. And anyhow, it'll be there. But we want to thank you, and if we can be of any help, let us know. And we hope to see you again, either online, but we would really rather see you in person. But until then, everybody, we hope to just stay safe.
Yeah,
and
we are more than just the voices behind the curtain.
Are we? Oh, okay.
Well, I am.
Okay.
I am.
Okay, yeah, we want to help out and whatever. So it's good to see you online, and hope to see you in person soon. Take care, everybody.
Yes. Stay safe.